Publishing. This is our Wednesday live talking about books and writing, and we're at Busybird HQ, and we have a special guest today. But before we introduce our special guest, over on my right is...
I'm the special guest.
You're not the special guest.
Should be the special
You're
guest.
special.
Definitely special.
Mama says he's special.
What's my name? What's my name, Sam?
You're Les.
See, everyone knows that.
The Les.
The Les. Yep.
TheLes.com.
Yeah.
We should get that.
Good. Now we have a special guest today, and we're going to be doing some more author interviews over the coming months. So we have Andi Lew. Welcome, Andi.
And that's what I am. I'm
Yes,
an author.
You are an author.
And very proudly have been published with Busybird.
Yes. Do you want to have a show your book?
Yeah, so my book, well, this is actually my 7th book. It's called #InstaLovers, Digital Dating, DM Disasters and Love Stories. Now, I'm actually the author and the publisher, which is why it was so great to come on board with you guys at Busybird and sort of take care of all the things that the creative person didn't want to have to take care of, usually the tech side of things as well.
Yeah.
And
So let's first of all talk about
the book.
why did you write this book?
Wow. I have been previously writing about health and wellness and parenting in my, sort of other 6 books. And I took a turn. Really, I took a turn because I felt like all of a sudden everybody was talking about nutrition. I created a fat food movement with the books, Eat Fat, Be Thin and Eat Fat, Be Lean. And then I brought that out at the time that I Quit Sugar came out, and I realised, honey, you ain't going to be able to be successful quitting sugar unless you start including good fats.
Yeah.
That's because I'm a certified food, lifestyle and wellness coach, you see. So I saw a sort of an opening and took advantage of the timing. And I've been travelling backwards and forwards to America and observing social culture and health and wellness and the way in which we connect. At the end of the day, as a writer, I like to write about what's going on, like with social revolution or health and nutrition, and I saw that a lot of people were just finding it the norm to connect and court on social media or dating apps. And in Australia, we had a little bit of a stigma around it, but I thought, why? Because so many people like to do everything from our phones.
Yeah.
So I thought it was kind of like a good idea, instead of running faster with all the sort of copycats, if you like, wanting to do nutrition books, I went, see ya, I'm turning left.
Something a bit different.
So I went to a different angle, but it also seemed fit because I'm a little bit obsessed with playing Cupid and setting people up and helping others find love. I did work in television on a show called Shopping for Love on Channel 9, and so I kind of went back to that.
Yeah.
I was always very successful in, dating topics and genres, and so this is, I guess, timely in Australia and America to help people have success in dating, online safely and actually finding something more meaningful and not just sort of the hookup culture, which is when I first started researching this about 6 years ago, believe it or not. Yeah, long time.
Les, have you done any online dating?
Not at all.
Past.
No. I didn't know there was an internet.
Les wasn't expecting that.
No, I didn't expect that. No, sorry.
You don't have to answer it.
Oh, it's too late to answer. It's out there.
Les has a partner at the moment. Before that, have you ever tried?
I'm doing it now as I have the part.
Oh, are you?
Oh, sorry, that's
Sorry,
gone too far.
Rafael's not watching.
She won't be watching.
It's official.
No, I don't think I ever did any online dating. One of my cousins met his wife online.
Yeah, I know quite a few people who have met their partners online.
And it sort of helps, from my understanding, it helps you sort of bypass some of those preliminary dates where you just get to know each other.
Yeah.
Because you can actually talk about stuff that you have in common before you actually
Maybe
meet.
weed out.
Yeah, weed out, like, oh yeah, that person's a serial killer, that person's a poet.
And it's
stuff
funny,
like that.
I should say that because there is a chapter called Weed Out the Weirdos, as you know.
That'll eliminate me, I'm out.
Yeah, but look, are you a weirdo or are you just socially awkward? And so we want to be able to give everybody...
It takes talent to be both.
Are you socially awkward? Like, maybe you can let us know. Not behind the camera, you guys watching.
Sam, yeah, she's socially awkward apparently.
And this is it. I mean, you don't have to be, a comedic writer or, I guess, an expert it, but there are some tips and tricks which I wanted to highlight in the book that you can do to get to the good ones, because there are good ones out there, and there are a lot of love stories in the back of this book that highlights other people's success. And this is exactly why I wanted to write the book, because the divorce rates are growing in Australia and also America, and it's becoming more normal to either settle down a little bit later in life or be finding yourself back on that, singles shelf, because it really is a marketplace, and going, well, how do I navigate my way through dating, let alone doing it online when it's kind of something that the generation before us might do. So
in the writing of that, what sort of research did you do?
Yeah, wow.
So have you done a lot of online dating?
A lot, because I had to research it, didn't I?
So percentage, what's the breakdown of weirdos to decent people to like really good pickups like myself?
Yeah.
What's the breakdown?
Exactly. So to find a really good bird like yourself, you would need to probably swipe for many hours to get to the good ones, or there's a whole section in this book about how to sort of narrow down settings, how to present yourself, how to look for red flags.
So what's a red flag? What's a really good
There
one?
are a lot of red flags,
Like he's got a knife in his hand?
they're a little bit more subtle.
Oh,
They're
okay.
usually presenting themselves as model types.
Yep.
But I always think, so you're hot, what else you got? Like some of those people I'm like, swipe left, because like too many selfies can come across really selfish.
Yeah.
Also a bit narcissistic.
Self-absorbed.
Yeah,
Self-absorbed.
self-absorbed.
Yeah.
But she was going to say narcissistic,
Yeah.
because I mean that's what it can come across as, and we're all a little bit narcissistic, let's face it. But you're either a fake person or you really are a narcissist. And so it's important to not get excited or caught up if you match with someone that just looks like this incredible person. You need to ascertain whether they really are a real person or not.
How many people you like looked at their picture and thought, okay, that's what you look like, and then you went on a date and they looked nothing like it?
There was one guy in America that I matched up with, because I had to see what the dating landscape was like over there as well as here.
None of the work.
But I decided, look, I didn't really want to have a relationship because I wasn't living there, but I wanted to sort of catch up with him. He was a single father as well, and we went on a bike ride down Venice Beach, for example.
That's pretty cool.
Oh my goodness, he was shorter than me and like almost skinnier than me. And there's like nothing wrong with that. He was a really nice guy. But I just couldn't believe that photos can just, I mean, he looked like this huge sort of guy who was into fitness, and he was into fitness, but he was tiny. And
So that's perception, isn't it? People can give you
Yeah,
a
but that's
different...
like movies. Tom Cruise is only about 5'7",
Yeah.
5'8". Stallone's only about 5'7".
look, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like anyone would go for Tom Cruise, and this guy was a great catch too. But if this is on your non-negotiables and you want someone taller than you, or he can't have a smaller bum than you, whatever your non-negotiables are. The good thing is that the apps are now catching up, and you can put like your height in there and all sorts of things. But there are so many filters that girls do use, so girls, don't do that, because the guys will be disappointed if you don't look the way you're presenting yourself. But the best thing to do to weed out all this scenario is just do a video call. Like before
you meet.
Yeah, it really shouldn't be a blind date in this day and age anymore with our technology. You can meet up with someone on a video call before you meet up with them IRL. So many people have said to me, oh, just go on that date with that person, take a chance, Andi, it's only 1 hour. Well, honey, I don't have time.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that you don't either. And
it also says on that, like, if you meet blindly, there's that awkwardness if you are getting something different than what you expected.
Right.
Whereas on the video call, you can kind of gauge that first, can't you?
And on a positive note, you can also continue to build connection and ascertain if there really is some sort of compatibility through a video phone call, because mere texting is all about losing tonality, losing timing, losing the body language cues that you might get when you're flirting IRL in real life. So you can start to make it a bit easier with a video call before you do meet up with someone, because there's less awkwardness, as you say, if you've done that.
But on a video call, you still wouldn't be able to tell if they were short or not.
No.
No,
So the
that's
best way to
true.
tell is either it's in their settings now, Or, I mean, it's awkward to even ask the question because you might fall in love with someone that, but what you can do is you can look for their other social media, like you can look for their Instagrams and say, oh, do you mind if I have a little look at you on your other social media, like Instagram, LinkedIn or whatever, and you can see group photos, you can kind of gauge where they sit with the group photos.
So a bit of stalking, a little bit of
Well,
stalking.
I call it,
Research.
Yeah, I call it research. But, to make it sound all fun and light so that the person kind of doesn't feel like they're getting judged, I usually, and this is all in the book, but I usually say, do you mind if I have a little bit of a creep on you on the other social media apps? There are so many fake profiles or weirdos out there, and you're assuming that the person that you're talking to isn't, and you're allowing them to feel comfortable. And they should be understanding about that if you put it to them sort of lightly and in jest.
So what's the best social media platform for love and relationships?
Well, believe it or not, everyone's sliding into DMs on Instagram. So it's kind of the quiet dating app, if you like, because it's not deliberate. And I talk about this in the book, talking about going on a liking spree. So that means you've liked a couple of people's photos. And it kind of comes up in their news feed, oh, this person's liking my photos. Oh, and there's a bit of a follow there as well. And I'm like, I might check them out. So it gets their attention. And if there's a mutual interest, then they might follow you back and slide into the DM, the direct message. And this actually worked for a couple who are in the book. They're good friends of mine called Lisa and Nicholas.
Oh, Lisa and Nicholas.
Yeah, you know them.
No.
But, she went on a liking spree and it caught his eye, and so he slid into the DM and he said, oh, is this the way they do it now? Because he was kind of alluding to the fact that he knew she was trying to get her attention, and I guess he manned up and liked what he saw and wanted to let her know, and she said, well, did it work? She was cheeky, and he said, I guess it did.
Yeah.
And then there you know it, 2 years later, they're still together.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright,
It's
so
like a
what's
crossover
next?
from, because people used to sort of consider that like almost overstepping. So it seems like there's been an evolution for it to have now gone to acceptable relationship development.
And funny you should mention that, because I call this netiquette. So having online etiquette needs to be taught, learned, understood, and where is it sexual harassment or where is it inappropriate? And in Texas now, since I've been going back and forth on my press tours with this book on different TV shows, I've noticed what other apps are doing. Bumble, for instance, has now helped it to be passed as law in the state of Texas in America, that it's now illegal and a crime if you're sending an unsolicited or unconsented pic. That's a bleep pic. Yeah.
So what's the penalty in Texas for doing that? That'd be like an execution in Texas, isn't it?
Yeah.
The electric chair or something?
Just don't do it. Just don't be a bleep.
Alright, so what's next for this book?
Well, actually, I asked you guys at Busybird what could be next, because I'd noticed that not only people, that we love to read on holidays in the sun, a paperback book, or we would like to read an ebook if you like. But the next step I've found is, because we all love listening to podcasts and videos and things like that, we like the vlogs, I thought that I should create an audio book or an audible book.
Audiobooks are really growing fast.
Yeah. So a lot of people have expressed interest in, particularly in this genre, because we kind of just want to sort of switch off and go to the gym and listen to a bit of fun, flirtatious humour and banter. But yeah, so I'm in the middle of recording this, but there has also been a lot of interest from television producers talking about having me as an expert on their show. For example, the WB, Warner Brothers Batch team, have got my details and book sitting on their desk. So that's a bit exciting. And who else? Oh gosh, little secrets. You'll have to stay tuned. Yeah.
It should be like a dating web series.
Absolutely. So
That'd be cool.
yeah. Well, what are your suggestions? Have you got any out there?
Any
Well,
questions for us?
Yes. You're both next generation.
Us personally, or the people, the viewers?
Have we got any questions on our Facebook Live?
No questions so far, but shout out to Jessie August and Margaret Caffin. I hope I'm saying your name
Hi
right.
Jessie, hi Margaret.
Hi, Jessie.
Both watching.
Yeah. And Margaret, hi. Is Margaret single? What's Margaret?
They're both single. Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
So I would love to play Cupid for you.
I don't know. Margaret might be busy. She's she's flitting all over the world.
Is Margaret a busy bird?
Yes, she is. she likes going backwards and forwards to Spain.
Oh,
she spends a
wow.
lot of time in Spain, so she might not have time for a man.
Well, there's an
or
app.
a woman, or
There might be an
whatever.
app that Margaret could use called Happen, which was originating in France, and now it's just spreading everywhere. HAPPN is a good dating app for perhaps Margaret if she's fleeting around. And
Cool.
let's face it, we've all got time for a date. Why not?
Yeah. That's great. We need to wrap up. So thanks so much for coming in. We'll share details about where to get the book underneath our live, and we hope to hear more about what you're doing. So if we hear about some sort of show or something, we'll share it with our tribe.
Yeah, and stay connected with
Yeah.
me on my Instagram page. It's andi.lew.
Great. Thank
Cool.
you. So today is our last, or tonight I should say, is our last open mic night, starting at 6 o'clock. And our theme is Birds of a Feather. So if you'll come in, we hope that you dress up.
Yeah, Sam will be singing again. What are you singing, Sam?
Oh, you do this to me every time.
Okay.
And
I've never done this
Oscar
before.
might even be dressed up. We'll see. But at the moment, he's
Enough there.
flagged out because he's had a hard morning doing nothing. And what else is happening, Les? We have
Competition,
a
apparently.
competition that starts today. Well, not today technically, but we're announcing it today because
That's
it
1st December.
opens on the 1st
So
of
I missed it
December.
by like that much.
No, no.
What do we win?
What do?
You win a $12,000 writing and publishing package.
Wow.
That is
Which
wow.
is huge.
I want to enter.
Les thinks I have rocks in my head for offering this as a prize.
You do.
I do.
Yes,
I do.
Okay.
Yes,
She's generous. She'll be feeling generous, yeah?
I am.
Yeah.
So not only do you win a package, but you also win help writing the book. So you can either go, we're going to have next year a weekend retreat where you can write your book, or a 16-week write to publish program, or a year-long program. So the winner of this prize can win one of those three things.
Choose one of those three, yeah.
Choose one of those, and they
Which one
get,
did you choose, Sam?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Those
so
are
and-
really good.
so they get a publishing package at the end of that as well, once they have their content. So thanks so much for checking in with us today, and we will see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.